Hello and welcome to this 9th Java tutorial on the FireSimulation. And let's get going and make a new class right from the beginning. And let's call this one board.java. And what we want to do is we want to create a board that is an extension of a JPanel, and we want to print out stuff using PaintComponent. So let's make it public. Let's make a class extends JPanel. And it doesn't implement anything. So we're going to use JPanel. We want to import javax.swing.jpanel, and we also want to use java.awt.asterisk. And okay, so we want to use the cell array and the x and y value so we can print out our things. So therefore let's make a public constructor with a board that takes an x value, a y value, and a cell array as parameters. And when we have done that, we kind of want to be able to use these parameters, so therefore we say private int, not like that, and say cell array. Let's have a private int x and a private int y, and let's set this cell array to cell array, this x to x, and this y to y. Okay, so now we have kind of things set up, but let's create the new JPanel so we can have fun with that. JPanel, let's call it board panel. Let's make it a new JPanel. Okay, and let's set the board panel dot set layout, if I can spell it, to null. And let's set the board panel dot set preferred size to a new dimension of x and y. Okay, so now that we've done that, we want to go into our GUI, and in the GUI we want to actually use this board. So under here we will do set content pane, so new board with our x size, our y size, and our cell array. Okay, let's see, yep, that's correct. And let's go into our board again. Let's try and compile it. Oh, set preferred size. What does it say here? Method set preferred size variable of board panel set preferred size. Let's see if it's spelled correctly. Oh, it's not. It's 2 R's in preferred. There we go. And let's compile the UI. And let's try and run it to see what happens. Let's say 200 times 200 and 100. There we go. And we have it as wanted. You can't actually see the size, but it runs. So that's just good. Let's try and let's see what we want to do. We have our draw cells, we have a game timer, we have the make cells, we create the cells, and then we paste them to the board and we draw them. Okay, I think that's acceptable, so let's make the paint component. So let's use public void paint component graphics G, and to paint this out we need a double for loop to run through our array and check what all the cell states are. So right now we could actually just say that g dot fill 3D rect we still need 2 for loops for this. So let's make 4. Let's call them. Let's just call them int I and j. So I is less than this dot x I plus plus, and then we change. Of course, we change I to j. And this to y. And now we can use our fill 3D rect, and the 3D rect needs some parameters. It needs an x value, a y value, as x width and height, and if it's true or false. And I'll show you the difference in a moment. But the x value will be j multiplied with 5. Because we actually forgot up here to say divide with 5. Because now this is our array size. So our j value should be multiplied with 5 because we want our size to be 5. Let me say 5. Let me say 5 times 5 times true. Okay. So what we're actually doing here, see sketch. There we go. Is that when we have an array, let's just lag a bit, dismiss. If we have 0.0 up here and want to draw a square, that's our first square, then this is actually 0.5. So, but we want to draw our next square here. And this square, this is our 0.0 square, this is our 0.1 square, and this is our 0.2 square, but it's actually 0 and 10 up here. So therefore we say this value multiplied with that value, this value multiplied with that value. Well, this value multiplied with 5, because that would be 0. This value multiplied with 5, because that would be 5. This value multiplied with 5, because it would be 10. Else they would just lie like this on top of each other with 1 pixel between them, and you wouldn't be able to see them correctly. So we don't want to do that. So let's do this. Let's try and compile it, and we get some errors. Variable j might not have been initialized. Of course, it needs to be set to 0. There we go. So let's try and paint some stuff out. I think we will get an error. Yep, it will be black because we haven't set this color to anything. So let's set g.set color. Let's say color dot, I don't know, green. That's green. There we go. And why does not want to set like that. Cool. Let's run it, and we have green. We have green squares. So if you look at these squares, they are kind of bulging upwards. So if we set this to false, they would be bulging downwards. It might be able to see, a bit hard to see what is there. And if we don't have 3D version, we will get more or less like it's more pixelated, but you don't have any borders. So what we can do is let's say I can show you later. It's easier when we actually have the array. So we want to fill this. I want to do this down here in the bottom, and then when we have done that, we actually want to repaint it. So we want to repaint it all the time, and therefore we call repaint. This will do so. We run it. Why doesn't it? 3D. There we go. Because then it will repaint all the time. We still don't have any colors, but we'll get to those colors. So let's say that if our cell array is equal to 1, this is of course I J. Then we want something to happen. We want it to be g dot set color to be color dot red, because that's our fire. And let's copy this 7 times. Cool. Then let's say that if it's 2, and if it's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0. I'm gonna set 0 in the top. Never mind. And number 2, that's in gray. And number 3, that's white. And number 4, that's actually well, that's just a green one. Number 5, that's a bit tricky because we want a darker green one. So what we're going to do is we're going to say green. Then we're going to set this in parentheses. And then we're going to say darker. Like that. That will give us a darker green color. And then number 6, that will be blue. And number 0, that will be orange. The orange is actually kind of yellowish, so I don't know why it's called orange, but it is yellow. And let's try and do this. See what happens. See, now we actually have a pretty good fire simulation. We don't have clicking yet, but we have a working one. And let's try without any parameters. We have a decent one, but if you look, we placed a fire in 0.0. Therefore, there's always a fire starting in the left corner, and it's spreading out of the bounds and wraps around. So let's go back, remove that single fire that we place. Try again, and now we just wait until the fire burst out. Oh, there was 2 fires. One died quickly. The next one actually took out most of the board. So the next one we'll set up clicking and dragging to change our array, and then we're almost done. So see you there.